Imagine a world with no factories, no electricity, no climate change summits, and no word called sustainability. Yet, people protected the planet without even knowing the word for it. Because sustainability then was not a concept, it was way of their lives. Today, we learn about sustainability in our textbooks, but earlier it actually lived in villages, homes, and habits. People protected the nature, knowing that it was not unlimited. We think that changes are made in conferences and meeting halls, but in reality, it is made in neighborhoods, homes, and streets. Now, global impact is not something far away or a huge thing, it actually starts local, right where you live. So, that's what I'm here to talk about today, living local with a global impact. Let me take you back to ancient India. Water was protected through several ways, like harvesting systems, canals, tanks, all those. It was respected and it was never wasted. For example, take Rajasthan. It faces a scarcity of water, so every single drop is protected there. But today, we live in a world with pipes, pumps, and technology, yet cities run dry. Why? It is not due to the lack of resources, it is due to the lack of respect. And we must remember, respect is a word that came way before sustainability did. And this is an event that happened 500 years ago. There were a group of people called the Bishnois of Rajasthan. They considered trees sacred. And in 1730, when a group of soldiers came to chop down the trees, in fact, what they did would amaze you. They hugged the trees, and 363 people lost their lives. There was no camera which recorded them, no laws which forced them to do that, yet they chose to do it. Why? Because they thought saving nature and saving trees is equal to saving lives. Now, you all must have seen your grandparents eating fresh, healthy, and locally sourced food. But we live in a world with packaged food, 2-minute noodles to 5-minute deliveries. And they never wasted food because they thought it was valuable, and even if there were leftovers, they kept it for the next day. But today, it's like food has no value, and millions of people starve. And to talk about clothing, people had a limited number of clothes. They used it till it was worn out, and even if it was torn, they stitched it and reused it. But today, we have more clothes than we actually need. We use only the favorite ones and dispose them off quickly, which leads to landfills and pollutes rivers. We are least bothered about that. And it was considered normal to stitch a torn cloth and wear it. But today we give it labels such as recycling and reusing, and most of them don't prefer to do that. And I would like to say this indigenous saying that says that take whatever you need from nature today and leave the rest for tomorrow. The question arises, are we following that? Well, we follow the first part. We take what we need from nature today. But we're not leaving anything for tomorrow. We're not even thinking about tomorrow. And there's another saying that we did not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrowed it from our children. So, my question is, what led to this drastic change? Because we humans chose speed over balance, growth over responsibility, and comfort over consequences. And what we did forget is respect. Respect for life, respect for nature, and most importantly, respect for the future. Yet we have hope because sustainability is not a thing that has to be invented, it just has to be remembered. Today, when I tell you the word sustainability, all you think is of graphs, data, statistics, but it is actually an old promise lived by our ancestors. What we need is new actions and old wisdom. Before global brands, there were local markets. Before fast fashion, there were tailors and weavers. And before delivery apps, there were neighbors. People chose to settle in areas where they got essential things for their survival. They got food from nearby land and goods from nearby hands. This is living local. And now let me tell you how this created a global impact. Picture this. People living in a village eat locally sourced food, so the need of trucks crossing the country reduces. So the amount of fossil fuels used also reduces, and climate change and pollution reduces. We have a greener earth. But that's not what is happening today. And there's a lot of clothing brands today. They have franchises of shop everywhere we go. If you observe, they have bulks of cloth. They are produced in factories. And these textile industries use way more water than we think. Instead, if you go to a local weaver and then get a cloth and you stitch it from a local tailor, that is more sustainable. To talk about energy, people built houses with thick walls and for insulation, the windows for natural light and breeze. They barely used electricity, even if there were, lights available. Why? Because they thought they could save money, but they were actually indirectly being sustainable. But today, we switch on the lights and fan and run off somewhere, and we're least bothered about it. So it is important that we always remember where things come from. We forget land when food travels far away. We forget water when clothes travel far away. When you throw something into the trash, we forget the damage caused. So it is important that we remember the real source of things. Let me tell you an example. For example, in a village, people had this concept called sharing, which we lack today. For example, if there was like one ladder, the whole village used that by sharing it with each other, and 5 to 6 families used one well. But today, everyone wants everything on their own. It you know promotes a lot of consumption. When I was young, my parents used to tell me this, that during their childhood in the village, they did not used to have, like, not all households used to have a television, maybe like one or two. So people used to gather on Sundays and watch a movie, news, or whatever they want to watch that day. And even though there are like 30 to 40 people watching one television, the energy is consumed for only one television. But today, imagine the same 30 to 40 people watching television. You need 30 television because everyone watches in a separate television. Every household has that. So just imagine the energy difference here. Now, when people try to be sustainable, they ask this question, is this eco-friendly? But the real question that they should ask is, do I really need this? Because everything needs to have a purpose, right? You can't just buy whatever you want. So I'm not telling that we should completely go away from the modern world. What I'm telling is that you make changes in your modern lifestyle. For example, instead of grabbing your phone and placing in a order in a delivery app, you could just take a quick walk to the nearby grocery store and buy things local. And if there was two grocery stores, one with the brand and another one where the farmer is selling directly, then I would encourage you to go to the one that the farmer is selling. This is because it is like locally sourced. You support farmers with their agriculture. You also get fresh vegetables, right? So that is sustainable. And there's a lot of ways that you could do this, because this world does not have 2 or 3 global problems. We have millions of local problems. And I'm not asking a person to go and reform the whole world. What I'm here to tell is that you reform the small world around you, your lifestyle. And when everyone does that, everyone lives a local life, then it leads to a global impact. And that is the sustainability in the future. Thank you.